Hey everybody, it's me Greg with another speed drawing video, and this is my third mermaid video. I did two before this, all of them with the Little Mermaid and Flounder, and this one is no exception. So I wanted to do another mermaid video because I had planned on doing a bunch of stuff for mermaid, but that didn't happen, and because I was kind of doing the chicken tangent, or turkey, sorry, for Thanksgiving, I wanted to do something completely different because I think I drew those characters and stuff for like a couple of weeks between my Instagram and posting the videos here. So I just needed a nice change of pace. So as you can see, just kind of refining things on this drawing, flipping things around, rescaling them, cleaning them up, redrawing, and now I'm going on to the cleanup, which is always the fun part because that's when your rough idea becomes your final idea. And just making sure everything looks nice because it makes it more interesting and more fun. And that way, when you have a whole bunch of these videos or drawings or whatever, you can see your improvement and you just have a nice collection of stuff. Yeah. So, yep, just trying to get everything on here, working on the fin right now, adding little details, and then just trying to get those hands. Those hands are difficult, anything other than keeping the basic things, kind of like open flared hands or um, just closed fists, kind of gets tricky because then you got to figure out the fingers and it becomes a thing, which is good because I like a challenge. So, and then just really trying to get the personality in there so that they're not just standing up or they're just not in a generic pose, kind of just breaking it up a little bit. So you're not just doing the same thing, which I feel like I say an awful lot. Anyway, so getting into the background over here, doing the rocks, adding some elements that were in the front, elements that are in the back, and in the middle. So you got your foreground, you got your midground, and I guess you got your background. And just it makes it feel bigger, more kind of epic, just to have a bunch of stuff in there. So it feels that they're alive in a way, even though they're drawing. It kind of gives them something to do, and it makes it believable. And it's just little extra touches to make it a better final product. Yeah, and just like I was, just going in and out on this drawing and making sure I didn't miss anything, checking on things, and then adding some final details over here. Got to fix some stuff. Her head was a little too big, so I kind of squished it and adding some quick touch-ups before I go into color. This time I had a little bit of a difficult time. I was actually using a other computer that I don't normally use, and I didn't want to change the settings that the person had on their computer. So what I had to do was they had a bunch of swatches already picked because they were working on something else. And again, I didn't want to disturb kind of their color palette that they had set up for themselves. So I would uh, use, the paint bucket or just use whatever their pre-select colors were. And I would then change the saturation or the hue on it and get the color that I wanted. So I wasn't disturbing what they were doing, but I was kind of dialing in the colors as I needed because I knew what I wanted, but I didn't want to disturb their color palette that I had because they weren't finished with whatever project they were working on. So I was just trying to be courteous and nice and stuff. Yeah, so it's coming along. Ariel looks like Ariel and Flounder looks like Flounder, and I'm kind of taking a lot of liberties with these backgrounds. One, because I can't really uh, backgrounds are kind of a weakness and stuff. So that's why, when I do these backgrounds and stuff, I try and do the best I can. So eventually they'll get as good as my characters. that I'm able to do, or even the props. But it's just a process. And yeah, I think mostly when I do the background for these things, they kind of look Flintstony or Hanna Barbera like, where they're just like really simple, really graphic. And eventually, I'd like to get to where the backgrounds that I do are kind of natural, but I'm not quite there yet. So, for the time being, I do what I can and work within my limitations. Hopefully, with each video or each couple of videos, I improve enough, or there's little improvements that I carry with me into the next videos and just into my toolkit of drawing techniques, I guess. Yeah, and here I'm getting into some of the shading, filling out the bodies and stuff, not doing anything too fancy. Just kind of highlights here and there and just filling in bits and pieces, just so it pops from the background. So they're a little more detailed than the background is, and that makes them stand out a little bit more. And here's the final picture. Leave a comment. I love reading those. If you have any suggestions, please leave them there as well. Don't forget to like the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that way you're current as to when I post a video. I will catch you next time. Bye.